Hi, everybody. I am here with my friend Chad. Chad is, I met you in person in, I'm going to guess, Chicago at
Actually,
PDT.
no. I don't think we
No?
I don't think we actually ever met in person.
Really?
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
met.
think-
I think it was a lot of it was through NKT.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, way back in the
yeah,
day in NKT,
yeah.
2013, 2014. That's so funny.
hmm
I swear I've met you,
I
but
don't think
apparently
I
not.
don't I
No,
don't
we
think
would
so.
remember.
I don't
Where did
know.
you take your
Yeah.
PDTR? Did you take it in Chicago?
No, we did PDTR in DC.
Oh, right.
I was that class.
Okay. Well, then fine.
hmm
I have never met you, and that's weird because it feels like I have.
I know.
Anyway, I've known him for a long time.
Yeah.
And so we've been through a lot of the same continuing education, and we know a lot of the same people. And shout out to all the people we know in common, Carson, like
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody else. So can you tell people who are watching, what do you do and how did you become, well, spoiler, he's a chiropractor. How did you become a chiropractor and how did you even know that you wanted to do that?
Yeah. So I guess my chiropractic story. Sorry if you hear baby crying in the background.
It's
He's
okay.
doing good. No, it's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, so my story of getting into chiropractic really started in high school. I was basketball was my sport, and I couldn't play anymore because I just had really sharp pain in my shoulder blade.
Mm,
And I went to a chiropractor right in the town. I went to school with his daughter, and he just started telling me about how the body works. And I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field, and he was explaining um, how different nerves in the back could correspond to organs and how the spine kind of controlled everything. And I thought that was really interesting at the time. And it really helped was the other thing too, was the treatments really helped. So went through school, went to Palmer in Florida,
mm-hmm.
which is the chiropractic school down there. Had the option of going to New York College of Chiropractic, which is up in like Seneca Falls area, which is really nice. Or Davenport, Iowa, which is that was the first chiropractic school ever. Is in Davenport, Iowa, and so I chose the beach in Daytona, which wasn't really that tough of a decision.
Right.
And then so I kind of stayed along the sports track the whole time through and took ART while I was in school and loved that and got out. Came back home to start my own practice and really built it on ART. And then as probably similar to your story and to many others that you and I both know, ART was great, but it just kind of, we knew there was something else to it, to treating patients. And I forget how I found it, but I found NKT and took that with Eric Nelson down in DC, and Carson was assisting, I think.
Yeah.
And then I took it, and then so I kind of went through that, and that's where I got to know you and Noah. And Jordan as well, and really looked to you guys a lot for guidance with NKT, and then getting into PDTR, kind of the same thing. I followed you guys around as much as I could because you guys knew what you were talking about. So went to PDTR with in DC with Kim.
Yep.
She was one that ran a lot of that, and Carson, and so went through that whole journey with PDTR, which is really great. Took a course with Jordan, the cranial class, which I loved. I think he's still, pretty sure he's still doing it.
He's doing it. It's different.
I think it's
changed
a little bit different than what it was.
It's even better.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
I'm quite sure it is. That was one of my favorites. It was the most relaxing course I've ever taken.
My God.
Just cranial work all day. It was fantastic.
It's like going to the spa
so
for
I
the
really
weekend.
liked that. I know. Yeah, it was like the lights were dim the whole time. It was it was really nice. That was at Eric's place, I think, way back a couple years ago. So that was kind of the journey as far as technique goes. And lately I've been just more into rehab, some different things like SFMA, that type of stuff, and really been getting into golf, doing a lot with golf. So TPI, the Titleist performance stuff, has been really fun for me. And so I've been in practice for 7 years now. and we just hired another chiropractor in January.
Oh, wow.
We've
Good
got
for
yeah. So after all that learning, I'm working my way out of treating now.
you. Oh, wow.
So yeah, big lesson for me over the last year or two was that it's okay to get bored at things, and I was just starting to get to that point with the traditional treating, and so now I'm really enjoying coaching my
Mentoring.
team. So yeah, mentoring. So I have a chiropractor who's he's a couple years out of school and is just really open to learning and really doing fantastic with it. And we've got a care coordinator guy, and we've got an office manager, and the team's rolling pretty nicely. So that's fun for me now. That's kind of the next thing that I think I'm going to get into more, that type of stuff. Which
That's
is
incredible.
running the business side is fun for me. Yeah.
It is fun. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what Noah and I are doing, but
Yeah.
everybody's an independent contractor. We don't have the same business model.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we've learned is, wow, it's not that fun actually. Being the one to like think about the rent and
yeah, you're always trading one challenge for another. I mean, there's always something, but it's yeah, there's always something. But the business side of it is fun. I've realized I took a personality test, like Strength Finders. I don't know if you've ever heard of those.
No, but I'm curious.
It's a really good one. So it gives you, it's different from the Myers-Briggs. It gives you more like, it's like 34 different types of personalities. And then it lists out like what your top 5 are based on how you answer the questions. And for mine, it was dead on. And the first sentence was like, you really excel in medicine and consulting. Like those, like I did the medicine and I really want to do the kind of consulting stuff. So that was all I needed to hear or to see, was that it's really part of my personality. So it's much easier to move forward when you just have natural strength to certain things.
Yeah.
That was helpful for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and Carson have been doing a lot of business growing. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Is Carson doing this stuff too?
Yeah. So Carson and I really became best friends since PDTR, and we talk pretty much every day. But he initially got me into a business group, so kind of a business coaching group. Mm-hmm. And we took a couple different programs in there, and then kind of worked our way up through that program to really learn how to become a CEO, essentially, how to learn, how to run a business. We don't learn that in school. And so it was trying to understand, how to market, the sales psychology, marketing strategies, and then some financial stuff, and really just how to look at bigger picture. And a big theme in that group is to work your way out of the day-to-day treatment, if that's what you want. Some people would just rather let me be in the treatment room all day. I don't want to worry about financial stuff. I don't want to worry about marketing or sales or anything. Let me just treat. And that's cool. But I think, we've started to see another side of healthcare, in that we can, operate the business, and it's still the same types of problem solving. It's just in a different arena. So we've been in that program for a couple of years now, and kind of looking to see what else is out there.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, all that stuff is way over my head.
No, it depends what what you're interested in. Like I didn't know I was interested in learning how to market or learning the psychology of sales. Like I didn't know that until I sort of got exposed to it, and then I thought, all right, well, this is kind of fun now.
This is kind of fun. Yeah. I do know that I like understanding people and helping people get what they want.
Yep. So. And that's a lot of what we do anyway, or what we have to do anyway as healthcare providers, is to sometimes help people get out of their own way. If we can kind of know what they need, but they're a little scared or a little hesitant because of bad experiences in the past, or they just don't think it'll work for them, or whatever it might be. Like, you sort of have that obligation to figure out how to get them to see that, we will take care of you. So that is the selling. There is selling in healthcare. Like, it has to happen. Otherwise, if we let people just think that it won't work for them, and we know that it will, kind of did them a disservice.
Right. Yeah. Well, and even, the major hurdle for any client, I think, is regaining hope.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've been told they were broken, or been told that they'll just have to deal with it, or got shown a scary looking X-ray, and that's all that they remembered from the visit was, look how bad your x-ray is, and
Right.
you need to tell them, like, it's going to be okay. You're not broken. We can help.
Yeah.
But yeah, hope definitely.
So how often are you in the office? Well, besides the whole coronavirus thing, like what does your week look like now?
Right now, next week at least, I'll be in Monday and Tuesday morning, and that's it. So I'm trying to keep it under 10 hours of treatment time a week.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me to let go of some of the patients. We're kind of, all the new patients are going to my new chiropractor, and like I said, he's doing fantastic. He's very, very good. But when you build a business or practice, like you guys know, people come in and they want to see you, and it's hard to be like, well, no, you can't. You have to go see somebody else. So trying to transition people has become difficult for me because it's probably an ego thing, but it's also for them. I mean, they don't know anything different, and
Right.
so trying to slowly ease that transition in, because if I'm stuck in the treatment room all day for the whole week, I can't do anything to grow the business. I can't do anything to make the experience better for them. So those are the things I have to continue to remind myself. Like, yeah, it's not fun having to push some of the patients away, but in the bigger picture, it's really what's best for everybody as a whole is if I can step back and really see, what else we need to do and help steer the ship in the appropriate direction.
Mm. Yes. Yeah. I remember moving to Colorado. Noah was working 10-hour days, 5 days a week.
Yep.
He saw on the hour. So he was seeing 10 patients a day.
Yep.
And he was 4 weeks backed up. Like 4 weeks
That's
out. If you wanted a session with him, you had to wait a month.
Yep. And that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, but it's not really the problem he wanted to have. Like he didn't want to have that. So fortunately, he's a good salesman and a salesman of me, and was able to say, I can't get you in, but my partner Jamie is here, and she works differently from me, but she's very good. And you'll have a great experience with her. And people did. Awesome. They, certain people came to me and were like, I will never go back to Noah. Don't tell him that.
Yeah, sure.
Just because the way that I worked was different, softer, gentler, some more motherly, like who knows. So it's so nice to have multiple practitioners in the clinic, I think.
It really is. I've definitely seen that. I saw that early on where I had one patient I was getting nowhere with, no matter what I did. She didn't like anything I did. Yeah. So she didn't like PDTR. She was very much against that.
Yeah.
And
how do people be against that? That to me is so confusing.
Well,
I don't understand that. I've never experienced that.
There was a lot of sort of underhand, like sarcastic little comments about things. And she was trying to figure it out and she couldn't. And I think that's kind of what got her.
It was too confusing. So, she couldn't make sense of it.
Yeah. And I can't, it's very hard to explain. Like, we have kind of our elevator pitch of what PDTR is.
Yeah.
And after that, it's going to take me like several hours to explain otherwise how it works. So it's you either get this much or we have to go this much to explain it. And she wasn't quite interested in it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I was able to say, listen, see my other chiropractor here, and she loves him.
Oh, great. Wow. Good for her.
Yeah. They get along great. And I was like, thank you for taking her, because we were not getting along.
Yeah.
And so that was nice. That was a good eye-opening moment to see that. To have another approach is really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know Tori did you ever meet Tori? Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
She was in our class for PDTR.
She was. Okay. Mm-hmm. She sees really different clients than I do. We have different clients that we attract. Noah has his, he's got a random collection of teenage gymnastics girls and old grizzly men and middle-aged women with hip pain.
Yes.
Sure. And I see all the airy fairy people, the ones who are in like love crystals and
Right. Right. That makes sense. That all makes sense.
it makes good sense. And
Hmm.
Tori, I think practices very similar to you. Yeah. She's
Yeah.
kind of mix of chiro and massage and, yeah, it's interesting. And then Josh, of course, I don't know if you know Josh Landis.
I know that I've seen the name a bunch.
Seen the
I've
name.
never met him though. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a massage therapist. He took PDTR with me and Noah.
Oh, cool.
And he knows ART and
Hmm.
but his love is training. So
Okay.
he's doing the anatomy of motion. He's in the gym moving
Oh, cool.
everyone, and
Yeah.
it's really. And then now we have a functional medicine person.
Oh, do you? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So she's got a laser and some kind of fat freezer machine. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. I think it freezes fat. Um,
Okay. Yep.
I know it has medical applications as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and she does essential oils and supplements,
Oh,
and
wow.
so it's really
That's
neat
awesome.
to
It's a great
have her.
addition.
It is. Yeah, so we have one empty room still.
Yeah. What are you looking for next then?
Well, we were supposed to have someone who did Reiki.
Oh, yeah.
We met this super great Reiki practitioner. She's amazing.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a good person to have next to me, bringing in all the
Yeah,
angelic
absolutely.
energy. I love it. Yeah, but
That's
then
cool.
coronavirus happened, so
Right.
yeah, she's not in yet because there's nobody for her to work with.
Right. Yeah.
She's started her business like 4 times, and she's starting. Do you ever encounter these people who've like started their business once, made it huge, and then like decided they didn't want to do it again, and then made it huge again like later?
Yeah.
She's
It's
one of those
so
people
interesting.
who can just build a practice, and which I admire.
Hmm.
I think that's amazing
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
that much like faith in yourself.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. I like learning about that stuff too. Hearing those, even people that they'll build one business and then they'll sell that and then they'll go to a completely different business and sell it. Like that stuff's really interesting. I wonder like how
Yeah.
they just this special skill.
So did you see speaking of business and manifestation and all that, did you see on my Facebook that I have a friend, Wendy, who does, she does like intuitive readings for business, for people who are in business?
No.
She is a really great friend of mine, and she does all these free psychic intuitive readings for anyone who wants one. But she
Hmm.
specializes in like helping people clear and understand how to manifest and taking a
Hmm.
look at people's business energy. So if you
Oh,
want a
wow.
free session with her, I will hook you guys up.
Yeah. Hey, I'm open to anything. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
she's really amazing. I love
That's
her.
awesome. How did you meet her?
I met her through this website. There's this website called Symbi. It's a
Okay.
it's it's named that because it's like symbiotic economy where people
Okay.
trade things with each other. And so
Oh,
I
that's
joined
cool.
this website in 2017 when I wanted to practice CRT more, the
Hmm.
hypnotherapy work. And I just wanted to practice more. So I was offering hypnotherapy, and I thought, well, I can get a headshot, or I can get someone to come garden at my house, or what. You can trade for anything.
Oh, cool.
And then I promptly, like, I did a whole bunch of sessions, and I promptly forgot about it for like 3 years or 2.5 years. And then I remembered I had all these, like when you trade for things, you get coins, these little fake
Hmm.
coins. And I had like a bank of like 300, 400 like coins. And I was like, well, coronavirus is here. I'm kind of bored and there's nothing to
Yeah.
do. Let me go on here and get some, uh, energy work and get trade for some Reiki
Hmm.
and check out acupuncture. And there's all these different practitioners on there. And I saw her on there. Someone else that I worked with on Symbi mentioned her, and I was like, I want to interview her. So we did an
Oh,
interview
cool.
about a month and a half ago. And
Okay. I'll feel with
she's just
that.
one of those people that you click with right away.
Yeah.
But she's been
That's
helping
awesome.
a lot of people I know by looking at their business energy and just seeing if there's anything that can be shifted about it. So it's really, you might like it.
That's
Long
cool.
story short, in the middle of your interview, we're talking about this other lady.
it's all,
Shout
it's
out,
all right.
Wendy.
It's all good. What about acupuncture? Would you guys are you allowed to have?
Oh
There's
yeah.
some rules there. Yeah, you can have them in the same clinic with you.
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
first of all, the clinic that we run is kind of an umbrella, and everyone is an independent contractor under
Oh, right.
the
That's right. You did
umbrella.
say that. Yeah. Okay.
So people can do whatever they want. The limitation for people that have wanted to work in here has been the rooms don't have sinks in them. So a lot of
Okay.
people who are working with needles, we thought about having someone who did who worked with hormones. Like Noah has a
Mm.
guy friend who does testosterone injections and different
Mm-hmm.
kinds of supplementation, but he really needs a room with a sink in it. It has to be like sterile and
Yep.
all that. And
Yep.
we have just basic rooms that, have walls.
Gotcha.
We have a sink in our office, but it's not in each room.
Okay.
So I think
That
that
makes
might be a
sense.
limit for an acupuncture person, but
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's true.
yeah. Yeah, I would love to have someone doing acupuncture in here. We had someone doing neurofeedback or
Yeah.
biofeedback for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But they never seemed to get their business up and going. It was kind of like a false start. They'd come in like one day a week for like
Okay.
6 months, and then they stopped even showing
That
up,
was
and we were
it.
like, yeah, all right, I guess you're
Yeah.
fine.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's interesting.
So we've tried a lot. We had Kendra, who was a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
So this room that I'm in now was a yoga studio, but we could
Mm-hmm.
never really get that up and going either.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a big enough space for like a regular
Okay.
class. It fits about 6
Yeah.
people
Okay. That's not
on
bad.
mats. It's not terrible, but
Yeah.
didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All
Gotcha.
the all the things you try in business, and then you realize, nope, that's not the thing.
Right. That's all right.
What have you tried and realized, no, that wasn't the thing?
Well, we're limited by space pretty good. So we didn't really get a chance to expand out and try different things like that. We have one treatment room and so
Partitions, right?
well, the way that the office is, so we're in a gym
Mm.
and you walk in and the front office is there and it's a weird shaped room. So we can't really, this small little office is our checkout room. Then there's another room you have to go into, which is, we kind of have like our mobility shop in there. So we have foam rollers and
Nice.
rock sauce and all that kind of, and some supplements and that kind of stuff, and our t-shirts. And then from there, then you go into the treatment room. So it's like you have to pass through all the rooms to get into the treatment room, and we only have one of them, so we can't really add too much in there the way that it is. But we tried a trial of the Normatec boots. Have you seen those?
I have
The
seen
big
those.
compression boots.
Yeah.
So we got that. We got a trial of those like early March, I think.
Yeah.
And we were just letting people try it out for free. You know, if you like it, let us know. Maybe we'll think about keeping them. And then Corona hit, and so we didn't really get a chance to rev it up and see. So we're trying that again now.
Yep.
And they didn't do a whole lot for me, but our office staff loves them, and we've had a couple people that really like them. So
Yeah.
we'll give it a little bit longer and see if it's something that has legs, and if people want to, if people would want to sit on that after an appointment or something, just for some recovery.
Yeah, this would be for like your cyclists or your runners, that kind of
cyclists, runners, anybody people that are active, weightlifters, anything really like that.
I've tried those before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it's to sit for 20-25 minutes. It's like I can't sit that long and not do anything.
Yeah.
And you're just in this big, like, it's like a snowsuit.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can't really move.
Right.
So we'll see if that goes or not. I'm not really sure yet. But otherwise, we don't really do too much. I'm working on a lot of the golf stuff. That's really where my passion is. Aside from running the business, would be we have a golf academy now, and so we don't have the space in the office. So a lot of what I want to do is just going to be either virtual or doing a lot of stuff at country clubs, on the golf course, with golf pros, that type of stuff. So it's just I would love to have the space in the office to put a golf simulator in and run all the they're like wearables. So you get like a K vest. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Yep.
those.
Yep.
And strap, and it shows you all this data about how the swing is moving. That would be ideal. So we'll see. Maybe someday in the future I can get that rolling.
Right. Do they have that technology? Does it have like the markers on it so you can analyze with the 3D camera, the motion?
Yeah. So, yep. So it's motion capture. So you can test so much. You can get really into the weeds with it if you want. For us, what we would do is it helps with what they call sequencing. So in the golf swing, there's certain body parts that are supposed to move in an order, and if you get them out of sequence, things get a little crazy. Yeah,
that would be a really fun pair with PDTR. I'm just thinking about the long kinematic chains and the sequencing stuff.
So we used to with at PDTR, one of the things we always did was we would go to, what was this place? Oh, Top Golf. So the big driving ranges. So it'd be me, Carson, David Velez.
Yeah.
And then and I think Ryan came out a couple of times. And not Wamsha, but Ryan came out a couple of times. And that's what we would mess around with, would be long kinematic chains and holding like a UTL and seeing if the swing changes and all that kind of stuff. So it was fun to mess around with, or just doing like, I remember, I think with Carson, I think we did like some ankle stuff, like some impact paleos in the talus, and it changed like how he was able to rotate. So it was cool.
Oh, that's super.
It was fun messing around with that stuff.
Yeah. I used to work in a motion capture lab.
Oh, yeah?
For a long time, about over a decade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's K-Vest, and then there's also what's called Body Track.
Yeah.
It's a force plate. It's a force mat. You can measure the force generated, and they have ones that are really, really good for, you can use it for golf specifically to see weight transfer and all that, but you can use it for like back to performance, like rehab, to get people back into the game. Because you can check squats and see if they're shifting away, or people can do push-ups on it and see if they're favoring one side or the other. So it's cool technology, and it's not, if you have the space, it's really not that expensive to do it.
Right.
All those things are really not that bad. It's not like, $50,000. I think it's reasonable if you wanted to do it. It's pretty cool.
It's really fun to hear that, because when I was working in the lab, I haven't been there in 7 years. We had just gotten an upgraded system, and it was over $200,000 for just the cameras.
Wow.
But they were specifically for gait analysis for a medical purpose. So I'm sure there are systems that are like stepped down from that make more sense for sports. And these were all mounted in the ceiling, and it was like it was a whole deal. Yep. But it's cool to hear that it's actually reasonable to get that technology.
Yeah, it's really not too bad. Not too bad, especially if you know what you're doing with it and what you're going to do with it. The money's not that hard to recoup.
So I'm just surprised you're still in the small place. You haven't already gotten like.
No, there's a couple options open. I have a good relationship with the gym owner right now.
Yeah.
What we need to do really is get that office pretty much to full capacity with my current chiropractor, with me not there.
Gotcha.
So I want to get a lot of our marketing systems and conversion stuff in place. There's a lot of things we need to just shore up before we would make a big change.
And then
that's kind of, then we can look at, there's a couple places I've had my eye on for a while.
Nice.
See what happens. So when the timing's right, not going to rush
exciting.
it.
Yeah. Nice. It's like birth, right? You don't want to force the baby out too fast. It's got to cook.
Yeah, I know all about that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very had that experience.
Okay, this is exciting. And it feels really different from the last time I talked to you, or maybe not the last time, but like several times ago when you were really trying to figure out all this stuff. I don't think you had your associate yet. No,
it's been, the last years has been a big change in just a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, business wise and just life, just figuring out how to, just figuring out life in general. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot of change, It's been really, really good though, really helpful. It's helped me just be more clear and be a little bit more calm about things.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like, I recognize that as much as I don't like it, I'm part of that immediate gratification group. So like if I want to do something, I want it to be done like now.
Yeah.
And I've had to fight that over the last, 6 months, just recognizing that and now understanding that things will happen when they need to happen. And as long as you just, you pay attention, just keep moving forward, then if it's meant to happen, then you figure it out. That's another sort of personality trait I've figured from that assessment is I'm a problem solver. So I like solving problems. And then when things happen, it's something I can jump in and usually fix. So.
Yeah. I think I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't know if I could take this test or not. I feel like I'm a delayed gratification person. Like I like my comfy little.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Routine.
Well, yeah. I mean, I liked that, but it was, if I wanted to grow my practice to X amount, or if I wanted a chiropractor to come in to hire, like I wanted them. Once I made a decision on it, I was like, it should be done now. And it would frustrate me because the rest of the world doesn't always work like that. So, if I'm emailing you, I want to hear back within a couple hours, not later in the week. Those are the things that that always got to me.
I got you there. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Okay. Well, so what are you looking forward to in the next year or so?
Oh.
Anything new that you want to learn or do?
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, obviously, we just had our first child, and so that's every day is it's an adventure. It's fun to see how he changes and how our family changes, and I can't, it's been 2 months now, and it in some ways it feels like it's been way longer, and then in other times you're like, I can't believe we're already at 2 months. So in a year, it's hard to imagine kind of where we'll be with him, and he'll be developing his own little personality, and so it'll be cool. It'll be really fun. I'm really looking forward to the whole thing, the whole process of it. So I'm excited about that. And then as far as everything else, I'm in a bit of a transition phase as far as business and what I want to go learn next. I'm working on getting myself out of the office and really diving into the golf thing. I really want to be the authority for golf in our area. Yeah. And it's just what I love. If I could, if my office is out on the course with people for a couple of days a week and just helping them, that'd be fantastic. And then eventually, I said it early on, like I'm sure I will get bored of that at some point. Yeah. And I'll move on to whatever's next after that. But I really enjoy learning golf, and then just psychology and marketing. I really enjoyed studying lately, so I think I'll kind of follow that for a while until I'm done with it. That's kind of where things are going.
Any really great books that you would recommend for people wanting to grow their practice and understand that?
Ooh, wanting to grow the practice. So it kind of depends on what you want to learn. I think that
psychology. Let's start there.
Yeah, psychology. I'm in the middle of a book. This book called
Persuasion.
Persuasion, which is really has been a really good book. I've really enjoyed that. There's a lot of those types of books that are about the psychology of words have meaning. I think every word that you use, or that a patient or a client or a customer or whatever, the words that they use have meaning. Mm-hmm. And understanding that it's not just surface level for the most part. For most people, they may say something because it's the most easily accessible to them, and until you ask better questions, you may not really understand what they really want or what they're trying to say.
Yeah, you got to listen.
That's been a really good book.
Underneath the message.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of what I do too.
I have a whole list of them, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. Yeah, on the spot, I can't. Of course, I can't
That's
remember. As
good.
soon as
That's
we
a
hang up,
start.
I'll be like, "Oh, there's 8 of these books that I really enjoyed." But the other thing I would suggest is if you're trying to, if you're in healthcare and you do want to grow your business, you need a coach.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily. I'm not going to pitch one or the other, but I think that you need somebody that's been there and done it, because you can only see what you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And if you knew how to fix it, or if you knew how to grow it, you would have done it already.
Totally.
If
Yes.
you can't, then it means you have to look out. You have to look outside, and you have to look elsewhere. So I think that would be a big suggestion, recommendation for people that are in our world. If you're looking for that,
Yeah.
and if you like to learn, that's the best way. Is go get a coach. Go get somebody who's smarter than you, and that has done it in business and in life too. I mean, we are the same person at 7 o'clock at night as we are when we drive into work in the morning. Like, we should be the same person. So if you're a mess at home, you may think you can, flip a switch and be fine at work, but everything's gonna overlap at some point. So
Yeah.
I think finding that balance and finding somebody that can help you in business, but also just in life, about, learning about yourself and how you interact with people.
Very good advice. And advice, that I think all of us at times are resistant to, because it's like
Yeah.
imprinted into our DNA as an American, that we got to
Mhm.
figure it out on our own, right?
Right.
It's kind of
Yep,
a strong
exactly.
part of our culture.
Yeah. And it's sort of frowned upon to ask for help or whatever it might be. But even the things that you're good at, like, I was just talking to a buddy of mine who he's very good at certain things, but he understands what his weaknesses are
Yeah.
and avoids them. And it was a different concept that we've been talking about the last couple weeks. Was like, we're so geared towards looking and finding our weaknesses and like smashing through our weaknesses and spending so much time battling those weaknesses that we know, instead of, like, if you're not good at, I'm not good at drawing, I'm not good at painting, like, I'm not going to spend hours and hours getting really good at painting, because it's just going to be an uphill battle. I'd rather just pay somebody to go paint for me.
Yeah.
And instead, understanding what I'm really good at and sort of doubling down on those things and really refining that. So that was another thing, as far as like people asking for help. Like, if you're not innately good at something, that's okay. It's okay to have weaknesses, and it's okay to ask people for help for that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I've definitely learned that being in business with Noah. He has some natural strengths. So when we work together and we teach together, he is, I don't want to call him the intellect, but he has a gift for distilling things in a very clear way that people understand, where I'm kind of more of the energetic person, where I'm working on a different place. So if I'm trying to do what he's doing and he's trying to do what I am good at, it's harder.
It's much harder. So why not make it as easy on yourself as you can? And
Yeah.
you likely enjoy more, your style of things, which is why you do it, as opposed to trying to also be good at the way that he does things.
Yeah, that was, being very smart and intellectual and rational minded and masculine is the way that we're all taught that we should be. Right.
Yeah.
And so now I have given myself permission to rest in my natural talents.
Yeah. That's a cool way to think about it, right? Giving yourself permission to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. This was the Strength Finders book. That one there.
Discover your Clifton strengths. Look at that guy. He looks like
the book's good. You can get it on the website too, but I enjoyed it. I refer back to it a couple times a week.
That's so neat. Yeah.
It's been very helpful.
Very cool. So you wanted to, or you thought it would be helpful to share some tips about breathing or speak about breathing?
Yeah, one of the things that's made just a really massive change for me is very basic, and it's something that most people that are going to watch this have probably heard before, but just understanding how often or how little we breathe through the day and how much we hold our breath. And I think it's part of that mindfulness and awareness that if you can just take a couple minutes a day and solely focus on breathing, you don't have to listen to an app. You don't have to chant beats going on. You don't really need any of that stuff. They're great if you want it, but at the very core, just taking the time to sit and breathe. And one of the things that somebody challenged me to do at the time when I was trying to learn this was go sit underneath a tree and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of other reasons for it, but part of it was just to force me to do something that was uncomfortable and to make me do it. And once you do it, and I know you can probably talk more about the benefits of the act itself of, being connected to the ground and underneath a tree and the cycle of carbon dioxide and oxygen that kind of loops, like all of that stuff is really cool too. But for me, it was just sitting down and actually doing it. And now I can, you can start to tell when, if you stop breathing, you're likely going down a path that eventually you're going to get either frustrated or upset or angry, and you're going to lash out, or you're going to do things that are not what you want to do that you'll regret later.
Right.
And so if you can learn to just breathe and just slow things down, it just saves you in the long run. So breathing for me is a trigger. It's the way I think about it. If I realize that I haven't taken a breath in a while, I say, all right, hold on, you gotta stop everything, take 2 breaths, just relax, breathe. And then it just immediately calms your mental state down. And in a time right now where lots of people are kind of all over the place just from what's going on, it's just a good reminder. So I think if I could impart one thing for people that they could take away is really take that to heart and take 2 minutes out of your day just to breathe.
Yeah.
A friend of mine told me if you're going through the day and you can't smile, you feel like, if you think about it, like I'm going to smile right now, but your face is too tight and doesn't feel like it would naturally smile, it means you've stopped breathing for a while.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a cool cue for me when I was first trying to learn it. It was like, all right, take a minute. Can I smile right now? No. Okay. I means I haven't been breathing.
Oh, I love it.
It was just a nice way to relax. So yeah, that was one thing I thought was super helpful for me over the last year, really.
Yeah. Have you heard about heart math?
Yes. Yeah, but I don't know why.
Heart Math is a company that, well, I can't speak to all the things it does, but it measures heart coherence.
Oh, okay.
And it talks about how when someone is in coherence, when their energy is moving well, their field impacts everyone around them. And so they do all this research about that. And the way that they teach people to get into coherence is through breathing. So there's, it's sort of like heart rate variability. There's like this little finger thingy that you put on that tests, I think it measures your pulse. And then there's a breathing app that you can use. And I don't know, it's a pretty awesome company trying to help people get more centered, more grounded, and teaching people that when we are in that state, we impact people. I can't remember how many feet away. I want to say like 300 feet around us or something.
Yeah. I remember hearing something about that. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yes. I know it has a little gadget and sometimes he'll breathe with it.
That's cool. I'll have to look at that. I haven't seen that.
It's very,
but I know what you're
expensive,
talking about.
but it's very cool. Yeah. It's a pretty cheap thing. I think he wanted to get it for the office to work with clients because it's very simple and easy to set up. And people can, when he's working with them, they can do the breathing exercises and learn how to self-regulate, essentially.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Oh yeah, I'll check that out. Thank you.
Yeah,
cool.
You're welcome. Okay, so how can people get in touch with you if they want to, seek treatment, or they're curious about golf, or any of those things?
So I'm on Facebook, just Chad Cohle on there, and then our business page is Cohle Performance Chiropractic. So that's COHLE, and then Performance Chiropractic, and we're online, CohleChiro.com. We have specifically about golf. We're on YouTube, so I've got a bunch of YouTube videos with clients that we've been working through one of our programs. We have a golf blog on our website. And yeah, always open to talking about whatever. And if even,
Awesome.
business stuff or whatever it is, always happy to help.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
put all those links and things in the comments on Facebook and in the YouTube
cool.
notes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for today.
Yeah,
It was really
absolutely.
great
This
to
was
see
fun.
you.
Yeah, thanks for doing all this. This is such a cool idea.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's
Yeah,
been really
I'm
fun to
sure.
see all kinds of people I haven't seen in forever, and I've learned it so much. Every single one I've
Yeah,
done, I've learned so much. So it's been
that's
really
really
great.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. I'll talk to you later.
Yes.